we'd be rough, politically rough, but we would never like this, because I would never have said this, even though it's true. But I don't think I could have said it before. But now it's very easy to say Biden is the most corrupt president in the history of our country by far. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it to be a great badge of honor and courage. I'm doing it for you. I'm being indicted for you. Better me than you, right? You're sitting there saying, hey, I'd rather have it. We love our president. Let them indict him. We don't want to be indicted. And I believe the you is more than 200 million people that love our country, far more than 200 million. Meanwhile, as we've been persecuted for 7 years, because this didn't just start with the boxes. I call it the boxes hoax. It's a hoax. But this didn't start with boxes. This started 7 years ago when we came down the escalator. Your great First Lady, future First Lady, at the time. And despite having done nothing wrong, the White House just announced they've dropped the investigation into the West Wing cocaine scandal of just a few days. Think of it. They have cocaine going into the White House. They've got more cameras than any building probably in the world. It's opposite the Situation Room. I said it the other day, first time, you know, Situation Room, know it very well. Probably the most important room anywhere in the world. That's where war is decided, where nuclear is decided, where everything is decided. They say, oh, gee, we didn't have any cameras. Like hell they didn't. By the way, at Mar-a-Lago, which is not the Situation Room, we had tapes, and we handed over all our tapes, gladly handed them over. Take a look. And then they say, oh, there's somebody walking around with a box. Well, he's allowed to do that. But think of this. We had tapes, and we handed them over. Well, they said they don't have tapes. They don't happen to have it. This investigation, and that's a big deal, the cocaine. The cocaine by itself is a big deal, but it could have been other things. It could have been a dangerous weapon, so to speak, a bioweapon. But they ended it in just literally a few days. Now, I've been under investigation from really 2015, from the day I announced. From the day I came down the escalator, and actually when you think about it, from before that, because there was a poll that was taken where I was leading before. They said if he ever runs, he's going to win. And, you know, people did tend to know me. That's when I had a nice, easy life. What I do for you, you have no idea. I had such an easy life. I had such a good life. I had a great life. But I'm very glad I did it. Somebody asked me the other day, with all we've been through, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But somebody, very, very successful person, man who's one of the most successful people, said, I don't know how you take it. I said, do I have a choice? Because these are scoundrels. He said, no, I don't know how. Could I ask you a question, President? Ron? If you had it to do again, would you do it? Because I did have a great life. If you had it to do again, would you do it? I said, without even a question, because we did something that nobody else could have ever done. What we did during that period of time was incredible. And more importantly, now we're going to do it again, and we're going to do it even better. So it's never even a doubt. Not even a little doubt in my mind. And I have to say, because with all the fake news back there, if I said, oh, gee, I think there would be headlines, he wished he didn't do it. No. I'm very glad I did it. And more importantly, what's coming up is going to be greater than ever before. I promise you that. But never forget, our enemies want to stop us because we are the only ones, and that's all of you and me, all working together, who can stop them. We're the only ones that can stop them. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. It's very simple. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me, they're after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way. That's true. But I was starting to say a little while ago that if I were, instead of leading by 30, 40, or 50 points or whatever, a lot, if I were, I noticed Megan, I saw her a little while coming in, it's on the television, and I was watching, she was great, and she said, you can't beat him, he's got like a 40 or 50 point lead. But, you know, if I didn't have a 50, let's say I was losing, or let's say I wasn't running, none of this stuff would be happening. None of it would. If I were down by 20 instead of up by 50, maybe I'd have to be down by 30 or 40. But if I were down in the polls, or if I wasn't running, if I didn't do this, I would not have any of this stuff. You know, they've mobilized the AGs and the DAs, and they actually, in the New York DA, they actually took their top man out of DOJ, and they put their top man. Do you know this, Byron? They took Byron's such an incredible guy, by the way. He made a good speech, too. He made a good speech. He's got a big future. All of those three that I introduced have an incredible future. But what they did is something that you just can't do. What they're doing is something that is just not permissible. And people were shocked. Even the fake news was very surprised. I promise you this, that if you put me back in the White House, their reign will be over and America will be a free nation once again. It'll be free. I ran twice. I won twice. I did much better the second time than I did the first. It's true. Getting millions and millions and millions more votes the second time than I did in 2016, and likewise getting more votes than any president in the history, sitting president in the history of our country by far. And, you know, I also had the biggest margin. You know, usually when, like Obama, he ran, he got much fewer votes, many fewer votes the second time. You know, when he was reelected, he got much less than he did the first time. Most presidents are like that. You know why? Because people get bored. They get bored with their president. You're never going to get bored with me, I promise you. That'd be so insulting. That'd be very insulting. But from a voting standpoint, no president has ever gone up that much. I went from 63 million, we got 63 and we won,